and Coleman.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Anthony, get us started, please.
Hey, Chin, hope you're doing well. I guess just to start, looking at Alabama and just the pace that they kind of play at, just what do you see from Alabama and how do you kind of try to simulate that kind of in practice, which with how fast they play?
Um, I like to call it NASCAR, Formula One offense, the way that they move, uh, quick ends, whoever closest to the ball, whether it's a guard, whether it's a big, gets it out, gets it up quick on maze end or misses. Very similar to Michigan in a way. When we first played them, Michigan was playing at a breakneck pace. And so by understanding that transition defense is going to be a premium. Now, the thing for us, though, with transition defense, we got to throw some punches like we've been doing the last few games and got to get the ball out the net instead of uh, missing shots or live ball turnovers to keep them out of transition. And we want teams to play against our set defense. And when teams have to play against our set defense, it's been hard for teams to score on us when we're set. And so that's been something that we've preached to our players is that, guys, don't you realize that it's hard for a lot of these teams to score on us if we complete the series with the two-hand rebound in a half court. So we want to make it a half court game defensively and obviously take our opportunities when we get them in transition because we're pretty good in transition as well. But we can't have this 85, 90 possession game, and that's where they thrive.
Yeah, and then just kind of looking at your guys, it seems like a lot of them are playing with a lot more confidence, I guess specifically DJ and John L. Just how important have these last couple of games been from that perspective, and what are you kind of seeing from them in that regard?
Been very important, and I think last time we talked, I talked about how many different teams have we had to coach this year with guys in and out of the lineup, in and out on our depth chart. And so we've kind of settled in right now with what we have, the 8 guys that are playing. And Coach Cal has done an unbelievable job with changing our style of play, right? Our style of play is a little different now because this is a different team. And so Coach has done a great job of figuring out, okay, how we're going to play with this team, how we're going to play with these guys. If we have to go big lineup, what are we doing? How are we playing? So we have meetings ad nauseum about those things as a staff, and coaches just keep coming up, keep finding ways for us to figure out how we're going to play offensively with this being a different group. But we were able to have a week off with this group, and so we spent a lot of time scrimmaging and a lot of time on that in terms of how we want to play offensively. And these guys are really settling in their roles. And we talked about it again this morning, how much confidence our guys are playing with, and we don't want to shake that up. And we want to continue to have them play with supreme confidence.
And then last one for me for now. I'll probably have some more later, but Jonas has played 10 minutes or fewer in the last 3 games. Is there anything lingering from his previous injury there? Or is it just kind of, I guess, working his way back into this different style of play you guys are going with at this time, or just what are you seeing there?
From us as a staff, I don't know if there's anything that has been relayed to us in terms of any lingering or harboring injuries with his foot. So I'm not sure if I can be the person to answer that. That would again have to be someone from our medical staff, the doctors, and Matt, who are doing an unbelievable job with all of the injuries that we've had and having guys available and using the time that they have to make sure that we have enough guys to play a game with. But I think that what's happening is maybe we're winning, and so the guys that are playing and giving us the best chance to win, we're kind of riding that group, and it's like you got to be ready when your number is called. There's nothing that's absolute at this point. This next game will be the game for Jonas, and it may not be the game for TB or the game for Z. And our guys are all bought into understanding that it's about winning at this point. And we had an unbelievable 5 days, an unbelievable week, and we want to continue to go off that momentum. And whether that's Z at the 5 a little bit more than he's been playing, whether that's Jonas less or Jonas more or Z less, then we have to go with the guys that at that point in time that is helping us win the basketball game.
Eric.
What is the biggest difference that you've noted? Oh, wait a second. There we go. What is the biggest difference you've noticed between the way DJ runs the offense as opposed to the offense when Boogie was in there and how he handled the ball and he was looking for the open guys?
I think not much different in terms of them being different individuals and different skill sets, right? When Boogie was running the offense, obviously Boogie was averaging almost 6 assists a game. So he was obviously getting individuals involved in running the offense. But again, we played a different style of basketball with Boogie than we are playing with this group. And again, Coach Cal has figured out how to play with different groups and different teams. You know, it's a different team without Boogie on the floor. It's a totally different team. The dynamics of what he does, not having that, we have to figure out other ways to get that from other places in order to be successful to win. And so we figured out how to play with this group as DJ as the primary ball handler, which we've done before. Our team last year, where we were at, DJ was our primary ball handler. He was our leader. He ran our team. The two guys that are in the NBA right now, they could not do it the way that he did it. And so we utilized those two guys in a different way, which DJ had to sacrifice in order to run our basketball team to allow for those other two guys that are in the NBA, Reed and Rob, to do what it is that they do. And so now that DJ is again running our team, we feel very comfortable with him doing that because we know that he's done it before at a high level.
And I think he was mentioned earlier, talking just a little bit about Z, because he seems to be playing with just so much confidence right now, especially around the rim, where earlier in the season, he seemed way more comfortable on the perimeter offensively. But now you guys got him on the blocking in the paint a little bit more. His shot blocking has been way more active. Rebounding was really good this last game against Texas. What have been the things that have kind of either gotten through to him, or what is kind of the biggest thing you've noticed, the big change in his game?
Well, Z attitude about everything has changed. And so your mind writes your game right. He's coming in with the attitude that he obviously already has an unbelievable amount of talent, right? Z can shoot threes. He can defend. He can block shots. He can score in the post. He's got over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder. He's got an unbelievable assortment of tools, but it's about him having the right care factor. And Z has shown that he cares. He's shown that he's willing to work. He's shown that he wants to win. And so if that is the case, then you're going to get what you're getting out of Z. Whenever your mind is in the right place, your spirit is in the right place, and when you work at it and have the ability and the skills that he has, it all comes together. And it's all coming together for Z right now. We always had the utmost respect for Z and what he is that he brings to the table. He just didn't bring it to the table every night, right? And so now that he's decided to bring it to the table every day in practice, every day in the game, he gives us something that a lot of people don't have, and that's a 7'2" center with guard skills. And so we're excited about what Z is doing right now, and I think that, again, the best basketball for Z is yet to come. He's still just now getting comfortable and understanding who he is and what he is. And he gives us some confidence. Z gives us some swagger now. Z's got an attitude about him. He's got swagger about him. He's got confidence. And what that does is that trickles down to everybody on our team. He's a guy that's very spirited, very confident. You know, Z's got a little chip. He's got a little swagger to him, and we need him to play with that swagger.
Jackson.
Hey, Chin. Real quick, is Adu feeling any better? I know ESPN said he was under the weather Wednesday night.
He was under the weather, but he fought through like he should. And he gave us what he had to give us, and the fact that we have TB and Jonas, and we're by committee, we're utilizing those guys, and it's working for us. But we need Adu, obviously, to be Adu. He is a difference maker on the floor, and he's a matchup problem. Him, I think, after a day off and being able to get some rest, and I think Matt has been monitoring him. Excuse me. Hopefully, he'll feel a lot better today. But he was a little bit under the weather. He had chills, all kind of stuff going on. But you know, he was taking himself in and out the game, and he was being there when we needed him. And At the time where we needed him, he showed up for it. So we appreciate Adu for doing that for us.
You guys have done a really good job in the SEC, like holding teams to fewer 3-pointers than they average. Especially against Kentucky last weekend. I'm sure that's a focus against Alabama. Where, like, when you're thinking about the foundation of stopping teams, like, where does that start? On the floor, how do you first approach trying to limit a team's 3-point attempts?
It starts with our conversation. It starts with demonstrated performance. We talk about it. We demonstrate it in the floor in our practices, in our walkthroughs, in our drills. It's a huge point of emphasis for us. We were number one in our league in 2-point field goal defense. And so what we needed to do is to alleviate a lot of the threes that teams were getting because they weren't able to necessarily scoring it at the rim at a high clip. And so we needed to kind of move up the standings in our 3-point field goal defense. And a lot of these teams shoot a bunch of threes. And so what we want to do is limit those FDAs from 3. And we also want to cut the number of makes downs, right? So if we limit the number you get to shoot, then that means we can cut the number that you have the ability to make. The more you shoot with some of these teams, the more they obviously able to make. It's not science. It's not rocket science. It's just we want to eliminate the attempts, which means that we'll cut down the makes. And so we worked a lot on our closeouts. We worked a lot on our schemes of how we can take away threes. And again, that would be a big point of emphasis for this game. These guys shoot 30 a game and they make about 10. But if you let them, they'll shoot 50. So we don't want them to get their 30, what they average, but we obviously don't want them to make the 10 that they're making. So that's a point of emphasis for us. But they also do an unbelievable job now of not just settling, right? They're getting to the rim more than they normally have done in history with Alabama and their coach. But they're also rebounding at a high clip. So they're +6 in our league in rebounding. So we got a lot of stuff that we're talking about doing in order for us to be successful in this game. And we need to play well at home. And so it's time. It's time.